Hey, welcome to a random live streaming for this Bourbon and Beyond barrel pick, coming to you live on YouTube and on Facebook. Very excited about this. I'm joined with my good friend, Chris Blanford, who is the spirits buyer for Kroger. All the barrel picks that we do for Bourbon and Beyond, you'll be able to buy at Kroger.
You will. It's going to be amazing, isn't it?
And it's a long list. It is a long list. I mean, we have been serving the American people, picking good whiskey.
Yes, we've been really working really hard.
I even tried to get him to do a rum. He wouldn't do it.
First off, there's more to that story.
Yeah.
Don't let him say I just tried to do it.
Yeah, that is true.
There was a dollar amount to that story.
It was a very expensive rum, but very good. Also, the master distiller, Caleb Kilburn. We actually have got a feature running on him in the next issue of Bourbon Plus magazine.
Cool.
It's exciting stuff. Want to check that out?
Are you that interested?
We're not really.
Okay.
Well, everybody, has everybody loves you. So you're doing something right in this world.
Well, thank you. And we're happy to be one of the bourbons and ryes on that long list of single barrels y'all are picking.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much for the partnership.
And if I know Chris, he's probably going to want to, buy all of them.
Yes,
by the way, are we coming in horizontal?
I can't even get it to come up on Facebook. Have you had any? We're trying to check it.
All right. Well, we're going to find out one way or another.
Did you press play?
So one thing I want to say today is actually
we should throw it out there.
Today's actually a very tragic day in American whiskey. Jim Beam lost 2 warehouses. They have they're burning as we speak. The fire started at about 11:30 last night, and it has continued. Preliminary reports show that it was lightning that hit it, and I guess just want to ask, do you all have any thoughts about the Beam warehouse fire?
It's a sad day. So
It's
like roughly 45,000 barrels.
Yeah, 45,000 barrels, and firefighters are putting their lives on the line. That's kind of how I think about it.
Yes.
They're putting their lives on the line. You have people whose roads, that entire county, will be impacted, for years to come, and it's just sad.
But no human lives lost or injured at this point.
No,
Good.
no.
We can always make more whiskey.
Yeah.
It's
Is it still blazing as of now?
The last thing I saw was at 8:30, and it looked very well contained, but it still was running pretty hot.
I can say all of our thoughts are out there for those people who are out there working.
Absolutely. Was it a sprinkler warehouse or was it grandfathered in?
I'm pretty sure these were older warehouses.
Okay.
So, I think those rules would have went into effect a long, long time ago.
Good deal.
Okay, so let's get to tasting whiskey.
Let's do it.
Brighter times, barrel selections.
So, Caleb, tell us what we have here, and why the hell do you all name these like so long? R1504061101 34 :A:8. How? I mean, are you all? What are you doing?
Okay. So I've had a lot of questions about our way of doing serial numbers. So the serial number is that number you've got in the upper right-hand corner. That R stands for rye, 15 for distilled year, 15. I believe you said 04, so April. I don't have a good enough memory to go past that offhand. Basically, it's significant to when that barrel was distilled.
Okay.
So that particular bottle, again, is going to be, well, I can't show them, I'm too far away, but
Actually,
R for rye,
Mm-hmm.
15 for 15, 4 for April, 06 for the 6th day, first round of barreling that day, and is barrel number 1. And then
That is a lot of info.
that is a lot of info.
On one little
Yes.
Okay.
label maker.
And what's the mash bill?
So you know,
That's the back of the serial number.
Fred, you know my feelings on that. I want to share it. I can't.
So some backstory on this. So a lot of people choose to not disclose their mash bills That's perfectly fine. They're more than within their rights to do that. And I'm also within my rights to ask you what it is every cotton picking time I see you.
Maybe one time I'll just accidentally say it. I mean, who knows?
Catch me in a moment of weakness.
Well, I know how to get you there. Let's start pouring this stuff. So
Good
we've
deal.
got. So tell us what R15 04 06 101 34.
Let's just go with sample number 1. This is sample 1.
It's going to take an hour just to say all of the serial
There's
numbers.
sample 1.
Yeah.
And Chris, I'm told that you are the first retail outlet to get a barrel of Kentucky Peerless Bourbon.
That's pretty exciting, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's
So very, very exciting. We have a lot of great people to thank for that.
that's pretty cool.
too bad you have to go through all this ride to get there first.
That's okay. I mean, I'll really do my best.
Yeah.
You know, the ryes are always very good. Now, last year the rye was number 4 in my
Top American whiskey.
yeah, whiskeys of the year. Yeah. People like to give you all shit for the price, though, being like $79 and $99. And I always tell people, I was like, well, you plunk down $30 million and start your own distillery, you can set your own price. Pricing is the hardest thing to do, I think, from a business perspective in American whiskey.
I mean,
What do you think,
you're going to
Chris?
pay what it's worth to you. And I think that when you hear so many people talk about price, yeah, if we're in like a $400 or $500 mark, you're in a little bit of a different world.
Yeah.
But I think you're talking $100 for that rye. It's fantastic. It's phenomenal.
Well, I mean, obviously, starting a distillery is actually the biggest cost in starting a distillery. It'd be much easier and much more economical for us to be another source brand, but that wasn't our vision. It wasn't a vision from a transparency standpoint, minus the mash bill. It wasn't our vision from a quality standpoint, because as you know, with our sweet mash, with our low barrel entry proof, everything that we're doing along the line isn't something that you can go out and source because it's so unique. So our vision was really to create a product that's actually ours, and then we just kind of settled the bill at the end. And that's kind of evidenced by the fact that as we're coming out with these new products, you've actually seen our prices as our age comes up go down rather than continually gouge. When we went from a 2-year-old to a 3-year-old, if anything, you saw price reduction on your all's end. And then when we go to a 4, you're going to see much the same. Our goal is not to, every time we make a slight alteration on a label, to it's going to be this much more scarce, or it's going to be this much more expensive. Our goal is to continue to reinforce our promises. And as bourbon joins the gambit, like I said, the price is not going up.
Sounds like you rehearsed this conversation a little bit.
I think about it a lot.
They're all in like a big room earlier before we got here.
He's like, they're like, all right, what's first thing Fred's going to ask? Mash bill. And the second thing, price. All right, remember you have your 2-minute boiled down.
Yeah, this elevator speech already ready to go every time you walk in.
I wish it was that well rehearsed. No, it's just all off the cuff comments that hopefully sound all right. PR team has the ball with me because I'm just going to say whatever I'm thinking. So hopefully it's good. A lot of times it's just very raw.
I bet they love everybody.
You know what? I think that's real pure Kentuckian, though.
Mhm.
You know, I don't think there's anyone more Kentuckian and eloquent than Fred Noah, and he's going to give you a few shit bombs and
Yes, he
fucks
will.
and
Yeah.
assholes. So the only criticism I would have is you need to increase your cursing.
Yeah, well,
You're such a choir boy, almost. You know.
I've always been a goody two shoes. That's no, seriously. A lot of people's like, when did you first start drinking whiskey or get involved with it? Like, I was 21 plus and to the point where I was like, okay, I want to be a distiller before I ever really started drinking. I mean, I fell in love with the science.
Right?
I do.
That's the kind of guy you want your daughter to marry.
Yeah, I mean,
You know?
he just told me he's a goody two shoes. I
Yeah.
mean, he also could be lying to us.
I don't think he is. though.
100%.
No,
I don't think he is.
he's got the bio on me. It's
Yeah.
not there. It's
Did he try to dig really deep to find something?
Yeah,
There's
we
got to
did.
be something wrong.
I went down the drug route. I went down everything, and
He
it's like,
contacted LMPD, see if he had any warrants out.
and I'm like, shit, this kid's really good. He's a good kid. It's like, how can I corrupt him now? You know?
So this is probably a good
Well,
start.
in a tasting not too long ago, you did your best.
Yeah.
back in February.
That's right.
What'd you do? I didn't see that one.
So it was actually the precursor to the bourbon. I mean, we're way off
Yeah.
track anyway,
That's
but we
all right.
might as well keep going down that
Yeah.
path.
Yeah.
So it was back in February. I agreed to do a tasting, just a one taste of our. At that point, I was very forward. Like, this is not what the final product's going to taste like. This is just an indication.
By the way, the final product is huge improvement.
Yeah.
Huge improvement.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I tried making that transparent. I wasn't completely full of it. See,
No, you're right. You're right.
So we sat down. It's at 9 o'clock. I've immediately got to leave directly following that to go to Lexington for I was going on a family trip to fly down south to go fishing. So what was supposed to be one sample, quick interview, and out. 2 hours later, I've got an ascot on. He's ran me through like 20 samples. We end up having to go to Chinese there next to his office to bring things back to even keel before I can drive myself. Luckily, Allegiant Airlines are always late, so I was able to make my flight.
Nice.
Good job.
But yeah, it's
Listen, this is what we do. This is work.
yes.
And I just realized that my almost always when I'm doing these videos, I'm wearing shorts. You can't see because I got like a desk. You can see,
Oh,
I'm,
and
you can
that's-
see I'm wearing shorts. In this,
So you're taking that
my-
newscaster approach. You can kind of wear
my
anything
whole-
over
yeah.
here. It doesn't matter as long as this looks professional.
but at least I got shorts on, you know.
You're not.
No, that would
ducking
make
it.
this much more of
I'm
an
not.
interesting tasting, than I wouldn't want to do that.
So we're getting a lot of questions coming in from the viewers on YouTube. If someone from Peerless would like to get on there, put it on mute, and answer the questions. A lot of things about like where is the product available on the market yet, that sort of thing. That's on the YouTube, and if you all could find out on Facebook if it's going
And
to.
feel free to chime in with questions.
It's showing up, it's just not streaming.
It's like we have somebody
YouTube's
watching.
working well, but yeah,
on
Facebook's
Facebook.
not.
Yeah, Lindsay's watching.
Lindsay.
Yeah, there we go. Hi, Lindsay.
Hello.
Lindsay.
Hi, Lindsay.
We appreciate you.
You know, Lindsay's really awesome.
Do you know Lindsay?
Yeah, Lindsay's she's the marketing director for DWP, the Bourbon Beyond.
So I think I've
Nice.
actually-
She's so cool. We also have we share taste in music. So okay, you know we have
I
to
mean,
get,
this is just like sitting here.
we need to get to work on tasting this
Say, "Oh,
stuff.
I'll take a photo back." It's only-
Good stuff.
Oh, all it's doing now is opening up. So
All right.
when we do tastings,
Okay.
I don't like to talk. I want to hear these people's notes, not my own. I know I like it. I want.
I really appreciate that. Nothing pisses me off more than when someone's like, "Well, I'm getting cranberry and blah blah blah." You know, and that's
yeah.
I mean, I even like to do that, like when I'm leading a tasting. But some people will ask me, and I'll help them, help them find what they're tasting.
Yeah.
But
But there's a
all
big
around.
difference between letting them run,
Yeah.
run, and then being like, "Well, do you get this?"
well, most
frame
people,
that as a question.
a lot of people will just say, "I just get alcohol. Or I get bourbon."
Oh, that's what that is?
Yeah.
Do you get
Got
the-
it.
Actually,
Yeah.
this is a bourbon.
Yeah, so this is rye. So yeah, it's I
All
get
right.
notes of rye whiskey.
All right. So first of all, for Bourbon and Beyond, we are picking these barrels, Chris, and we're
Yes.
trying. We like to get things that are unique, but really, what it comes down to, we want to get the best whiskey we can possibly get.
You got it.
And you like to usually get all the whiskeys, so that's
My favorite.
that is a problem picking
Yes.
with you. It's like, hey, can I get that one? Can I get that one?
Well, we try to buy all of them. Actually,
And we
by
get-
the end of the day, I'm just like,
And you all will bottle this unchill filtered, uncut, right?
Correct. Everything's at barrel strength.
God love you.
oh, fantastic.
Well, our theory
If
is
you're watching Old Forester,
come
Oh,
bring
wow.
us, give us the uncut, unfiltered. Your whiskey's so good out of the
There was
barrel.
a conversation about that yesterday.
Oh man, that is a really nice nose. What's the age on this guy?
So, for the record, I wanted to just spread the bets throw a wide net and let you
So
kind of see what you like. So this
so
is
4 years
ranging
old.
from 4 to 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, where are all of your barrels aged? Like, are they here in the facility? Do
So
you-
all of these are in the facility right downstairs.
Okay.
After this, if we want to take a field trip and go visit it, you're welcome to get dirty and everything else because we have very narrow rigs.
I actually did a CNBC interview in there, and it was hot as shit. And I was wearing my like I normally dress, and I don't sweat. So
You're
like
like dying.
well, after Iraq, I like lost my sweat glands or something, but I don't sweat. And that was like the only time I have sweat in like ages.
Can you see it in the interview?
No,
Oh.
no, you can't.
I was like,
But the
see it
poor
like
the
he's
poor
like
lady
pouring.
interviewing me was like dripping wet. But she's like, "Oh my god, I gotta get out of here!
How are you not hot?
Don't they have air conditioning in these warehouses?"
No. It don't.
that'd be counterproductive.
Okay, so I'll tell you what, I'm getting a lot of confectionery. I'm getting some cornbread.
Like a dark fruit.
It's like, oh man, this is a nice nose. All right, here we go, taste. That's gonna be hard to beat.
Gosh. It's the first one.
That's gonna be
I mean,
that's gonna be so hard to beat.
Why
I
did
mean-
you give you 6 samples then, man?
It hits.
why did you pull all of this?
So one of the things that I like to look for in a whiskey, how does it hit the palate? You know, and some of them will hit the back and kind of go forward. Some of them will kind of feel like it hits the top of the mouth a little bit. Some will go down the jaws. This ryes tend to like go toward the back for me from how I feel them and work themselves forward. This rye does the complete opposite. It starts on the tip of the palate and then walks itself back and then slowly goes right down the jawline for me. And it kind of stays there. But to that point, it's sweeter than most ryes, which ryes have a tendency to be herbally, spicy. You get a lot of different notes there, but this one does not taste like your typical rye. And I find that is one of the really fun and fascinating things about Peerless and some of the other Kentucky ryes coming on the market, because Indiana has dominated the rye scene for so long that people have a note in their head of like what rye is supposed to taste like. And we get this and it's like, oh,
It's like nothing else.
that's not MGP.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So this is so
Yeah,
different.
It's like nothing else.
So we will definitely take that barrel.
Here, we'll go and set that back, Chris.
There
That
we go.
goes right there.
All right.
But you're in agreement.
I think that's fantastic. And
All right.
hold on. Did you just smell this one yet?
Hold on, wait now.
Hold on a second.
Woo! Chocolate.
Oh my god.
Hello. Someone, goodness gracious.
No, I didn't stack the deck.
Chocolate,
Did
butter.
you go through these before and like, hey, well,
Oh no! So all of our single barrel selections are very heavily curated, not so that they follow a narrow flavor profile, but so I can throw you all corners of the flavor wheel.
it's like deep baked, like brownie type of.
Yeah, this is like this is taking me back to when I was 15 years old, coming home from a baseball game, and all I wanted was like chocolate walnut brownies.
Oh,
You
I mean, what a walnut brownies.
And then-
Oh, I was going to say one step further for me, just because I ate a lot of Little Debbie's growing up. It's almost like a Little Debbie brownie.
I thought you said I ate a lot of little babies.
no.
There it is. There's the bad part. We found it.
No.
I'm actually a handful.
I've done nothing bad but eat people. That's all I've done.
Wow.
I mean, did it? That sound like you
I
said
mean,
it,
so-
baby.
I'm
Debbie.
serious, that's what it is.
Eastern Kentucky. Can't help it. Sometimes my mouth doesn't work quite right.
Oh, it's all right. You know. By the way, we was driving.
Marbles in the mouth and whatnot.
We were driving through Eastern Kentucky the other day, and we were about to run out of gas. I stopped in a gas station, and it was like as soon as I got there, like people were just like coming out of the darkness. It's like Eastern Kentucky.
You're going off hills have eyes on me? Man, those are good people. Those are good people.
So they were just like there was no one in the store, and then they were like all outside, and they kind of came out from like the backside of the dark of like where the trash cans were to come in. It's like, this is weird.
Where were you? Part of Eastern
I don't
Kentucky
know.
were
I
you
don't
in?
know. There's somewhere in Eastern Kentucky, not far from the border, and it was.
Which border?
He says the border.
We were going to Tennessee, Knoxville specifically.
Okay. So you're down past London. So were you still on the interstate then?
Yeah.
Okay.
He thinks he's not sure.
Yeah. No, this. And
Okay.
I'm not saying there was a bad part of town. I get that. It was just a really creepy, weird moment.
Yeah.
That you see, like in, Murder, She Wrote.
Okay.
Murder, She Wrote. What an old pool.
What do you mean? Oh, I still watch Murder, She Wrote.
What channel does it come on?
Amazon Prime, baby.
Oh, and so
You
you
get
just
everything
so
there.
you go through and you just
Angela Lansbury.
yeah. So
Angela Lansbury.
I can see him with his glass of Peerless, just binging to Murder She Wrote, and after that, the Golden Girls.
Well, you know what? We do watch the Golden Girls.
See,
Mm-hmm.
called it.
And I'll tell you something. You will never get more dry humor than the Golden Girls. And I also feel like they they have like they were kind of prophetic of like how they would talk about things. They were talking about like political correctness and gay rights in the 80s and 90s before anybody. So
Are you trying to work yourself in an interview with Betty White?
it would be a dream to interview Betty White.
I bet it
I'd love to get
really
her.
hilarious.
I'd love to get a little bourbon in her and see what comes out of her mouth.
I don't even think she needs.
I don't even know if it would need to be like a media thing or anything else. Like just like one-on-one
talk to
to
her.
meet.
Yeah,
Just
I would love to meet Betty White.
If anybody knows Betty White,
Who's your favorite Golden Girl? That's today's question.
favorite girl.
All right, so I'll tell you, the nose was really wow for me on the second one,
I
but
still think the first
the
one.
palate wasn't up to snuff
Yes.
as the first one. So that first one, just going back to it, it's like, it's taking you out to like it's winter steak dinner.
Yep. So far, it's still number one.
All right, so
Which is
now we go to number 3. Number 3 is actually my lucky number.
Is it? Today's July 3rd. I had to go.
Yesterday we picked a barrel
Yes, we did.
that was on the 5-year anniversary of that barrel being filled. So it was like its birthday. And it was Old Forester. So I had suggested that we actually pick the birthday bourbon at Old Forester.
None of them were on the same agreement.
they were-
They did not agree that it should be called birthday bourbon.
They were not very pleased about that.
Uh-uh.
Something about trademarks and lawyers.
There's a couple people, as soon as he said that, they were in conversation and they immediately stopped.
I
Thinking
mean,
what
they
he
shut
just
that
said.
down.
It's like a cease and desist order was like coming right there.
Instantly.
He was already drafted.
Technically, could they stop us?
At the retailer level, I don't know if we
I
have
think
much
we-
control.
I think what we put on the label, I think, is where they can
So
stop
here's
us.
where they can't stop us.
Uh-huh.
This is really a birthday bourbon. Pushing it over here like that.
If we would have maybe said it was like in very small print, like Fred's tiny print birthday bourbon.
Now, this is where you just get credit with language. It was bourbon selected on its birthday from Old Forester.
See, there you go. Wow. Should have called
And that is a label that you could print. You could have printed and stick on at the store level. And
See, look, they even put the serial numbers on their barrels.
oh yeah, well that's that way I can walk up to any barrel and know. Okay, this was the still.
Did you create the serial barrel? Did you create the system?
Yeah, I did.
and you're like the only one that can
Decipher it.
Hey, that's job security right there.
That's
That-
true. Can't get rid of me. I'm the
Holographic
only one that
thread.
knows what's in that barrel.
Well, I mean, if you're looking for job security, I did that, the tax system, and the computer control system. So even if they know everything else, it's I'm
You made
stuck.
yourself very valuable.
Well, that's good, though. I mean, you do that, too. Kroger.
It's my goal. Can't let them get rid of me and give all my secrets away.
Yeah, you're too valuable.
See, did you all hear that?
Actually, I don't think Kroger knows what they
has to
have in
say
it.
it. Somebody else.
You're a very talented young man.
Joey, he's going to ask for something He's gonna win something.
I'm not going to win anything. It's a
He
truth.
sent me an email earlier. It was yesterday, but I'm behind that idea.
Well, I'm so excited about that.
That's gonna be really, really cool. I don't think we're gonna announce it yet, though, right?
No,
Okay.
not the dates. Okay, so number
Give you a date
3,
anytime you want.
Rhode Island. Something. I'm trying to see make sure we're not missing any questions or anything like that.
Does anyone want to just call out the questions to us as they come in?
Oh, yeah.
Some of these are just related to product availability. Will it be sold in New York? Absolutely. Later this year, the bourbon will be available in New York as of September of 2019.
So, can you all hear the guy in the background? That's Cordell. He's
We're expecting bourbon to hit kind of our tier 1 markets, the New Yorks, the Californias, Floridas. Who else do we have?
Texas, New York.
Texas. I thought I already said New York. Anyway, Illinois. Thank you, supporting cast. We will we'll have that to you probably in September. No, what else should I call them?
I like it.
Men and women behind the curtain.
Listen, we need to get aggro on people here.
Oh, sorry.
He's gonna kick us all out.
Jeez.
I'm so sorry.
Hey, you gotta remember, this is my second time going through these samples, and we haven't even broken to the additional 5 bourbon yet.
This is your second time today.
Yeah,
Oh, so we're
So
not.
you guys
special.
know it's 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
yeah,
my breakfast
and brunch.
that's right.
So first one still is the winner for me. Well, the third one's nice. It's got some lovely notes to me.
It's a little more herbal and leathery for me. A little
Yeah,
less the sweet brightness that I feel like you all are looking for.
Yeah, and it also a big thing too is that in comparison to even the second one, it doesn't hold up. That second one was better than the third one. The third one is not ready, so I'd say throw that back in a while. You know, it needs to cook a little more.
Do you want me to tip my hat real quick on something?
Sure.
So the third one that you don't think is as ready is 4. The second one is 3.
No way.
Seriously.
On the age?
Yeah.
Huh.
And barrel to barrel, it's gonna vary. I mean,
Absolutely.
this is where the art of the process comes in. It's not just walk to a rick and say, every one of these are of the age we want. We're gonna dump them together.
How often do you taste in these barrels?
Well, I mean, anything that we dump is tasted. As far as the way we typically go through,
Are these dumped already?
No.
Okay, all right.
No, these are still sitting in the ricks. So what we'll do is we'll go through when we're ready to do batches or single barrel selections. We'll go through, we'll grade everything. We'll normally search for ones that either haven't been selected or if it's an area that's been picked over, we'll go at it again. But generally, if we don't select one for either a mingled batch or a single barrel, it's going to sit there for another year until it's relevant again.
So, Chris, what do you think of 3?
So I agree. I want to say it was just kind of, I don't know if it's the right word, like bland to me. I didn't get a lot.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're exactly right.
It doesn't have the vibrance.
Right, yeah.
But here's the thing: it's like, so Julian Van Winkle had this theory that barrels, and this is why when people ask me like, why is Pappy Van Winkle so popular and famous? It's because Julian had one of these brilliant palates where he could go in, he could taste the barrel and know when it was ready, and taste another barrel and say, these 2 barrels are perfect together. So Julian Van Winkle had one of these incredible gifts, natural, perhaps trained a little bit with his father, but he had a gift of being able to find 2 barrels that were meant to be together. And he has this theory that warehouses go in cycles. Mm-hmm. And like in each little spot, it has a particular time when it's ready. And I've delved into that, that hypothesis has kind of driven a lot of theories for me. And one of them is barrel entry proof. Now you guys go in the barrel at a very low entry proof, and that has a big indication on what it tastes like.
What is the entry proof?
107. So that's going to help drive a lot of caramels, a lot of vanillas, a lot of the more polar compounds to be extracted while leaving behind some of the harsher tannins. And
here's another thing for those in the audience. You would in 1958, you would have been considered bourbon. Four Roses, Jim Beam, Heaven Hill, none of their products would have been considered bourbon today in 1958 because the government changed the law of what the maximum barrel entry proof was from 110 to 125 proof. And that was because people were trying to, the higher you go up in proof into the barrel, the more you can stretch out into bottles, more money you can make. And that was kind of it was a little bit of a taxation move that they did that. But the lower barrel entry proofs can be in the barrel longer, and they often are more velvety on the palate. And the ones that are in at 125 proof, once they hit 8 years old, they're on a ticking clock of being too woody. So I dare you to find an 18-year-old or older 125 barrel entry proof that doesn't taste like licking wood. They're all that way. So like and a really good example is the Parker's Heritage that was like 27 years old.
Mm-hmm.
It was way too woody. Way too woody. Anyway, I'm going off on a diatribe here. So now we go to the bourbons.
No. You're still on rye.
We're still on rye?
Yeah.
All 6 of these are rye.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
6.6 bourbon.
That's what I'm saying. You brace yourself. You got 11 barrels coming at you.
Okay.
But kind of speaking of both, there's a question that came through about the reddish hue or rich color, amber color of both the rye and bourbon for Peerless specifically. Do you want to talk about that, Joe?
We don't water it down. Easy as that.
Yep.
It comes out of the barrel, full robust, full flavor, full everything. We don't filter anything out. We don't dilute it. Just how it should be.
And if they added food coloring, they could go to jail.
Goody two shoes. Not going to jail.
True.
Not going to happen.
I mean, they wouldn't go to jail. I mean, they would probably have good enough lawyers where they would be able to keep themselves from jail. But you could go to you could face consequences for adding food coloring to bourbon, which is not allowed to have food coloring.
The last time we were about going to jail, we talked about eating people earlier.
Oh boy. Oh boy. We got a winner
It's
here.
giving a run number one.
I think you said that before. You're the winner.
We got a winner. Well, here's the thing about Chris. He'll buy everything. So
To an extent.
Chris is a really
Not
good friend to
always.
have if you like whiskey. Because he's like, oh, you like that? I'll buy it. I'll buy it.
We, as you said, the rum, we did not do.
Yeah, it's the
Because
rum
he
you
brought
do.
crazy amount of money.
He wanted 50 grand. Yeah. But it was like,
Reason that you don't see barrel selected rum in the store.
but it was a once in a lifetime rum that
It's just not our lifetime.
your former employer got.
Sometimes it happens.
But honestly,
If you would have told me you would have bought all $50,000 in that,
you're a district versus all Kroger. So
division.
a division
Yes.
versus the all Kroger. And so like it makes a lot more sense,
Oh yeah. So I see another good question. Who makes your barrels?
Kelvin Cooperage. So they are a craft barrel house, much in the same way that we are a craft whiskey house. They're located just south of town here. They're about 15 minutes away from the distillery. Technically, it's the closest cooperage that will sell to us. Brown Foreman's is closer, but they have a few brands that they need their own barrels for out.
Some bitch, this is good. This has got
It's got this nice spice on the back end, and
this to me tastes like the holidays. It's like got the cookies, like the pumpernickel, the like gingerbread cookies. I get a little pumpernickel bread.
cinnamonish.
Yeah,
Like
definitely
a little bit of
cinnamon.
allspice.
This
that's
is
a good one.
this is good.
Yeah.
So that
Why don't we sit that beside one up here is finalist.
That's it.
finalists. All right. So let's go to 4.
That's it.
No,
This
you've
is
got
5
4.
now.
This
This
would be 5.
Right, for fuck's sake.
I'm sorry.
You and your corrections.
Means have to be particular. This is much lighter.
Yeah, this is nosing like it's screaming for a highball or something like that. Not that that's an insult. It tastes very nice. I mean, to me, this is a mixing rye. Put it over there.
It's got something there that's different than the rest of them.
Yeah, it's almost like a little herbally, like a candied herb. Like there's my wife used to bring home these Chinese herbal candies. Reminds me a lot of that.
I get that also with like a really dry, really dark cocoa also to it. Just me personally.
Well, I mean, that dark cocoa is like, God, that's like chocolate milk, or the
Which one?
Not like chocolate milk.
not chocolate milk, but hot chocolate. The
Okay.
hot cocoa's like,
Which one?
I get that. I get like a hot cocoa,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. Yeah, I get that.
But nose wise, I don't know if it holds up with.
I agree.
Oh boy. The last one. We've got butter. You
I'm
like
sorry
butter.
to say, I like butter.
You like butter. Hit the
So-
butter button.
For just a quick recap, all these taste the same, right? Like there's no variation. It's just easy to pick these barrels, right?
It's
every
actually
single one of them in there. is
actually,
exactly the same. There's no difference.
I will say when it comes to this, it's actually very difficult to select a barrel because if I'm assessing a whiskey, if I'm rating a whiskey, I'm doing it. I'm making thought. I'm basically writing my notes and I'm having like a personal preference. When I'm actually picking a barrel, what I'm doing is I'm trying to pick something that I feel like tastes, to the place it's going. So Bourbon and Beyond is music. What do I want to sip with this whiskey? What do I want to listen to as I sip this whiskey? If it tastes like it's really more like jazz or something, I'm probably not going to pick it. But if I feel Robert Plant, if I feel Leon Bridges, Foo Fighters, that's Bourbon and Beyond. And one of the people I'm really excited to see at Bourbon and Beyond is Lukas Nelson, Willie Nelson's boy.
Okay.
Great guitar player, wonderful. He has a great sound. He sounds a lot like his dad, and I think he's high all the time too, like his dad.
Well, I was going to say,
Why wouldn't
does
you
that- I was going to say, does that mean that you want to find a distinctly smoky barrel?
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait to see. Who are you excited?
It's terrible.
Who are you most excited to see at Bourbon and Beyond?
Let's see. Well, I'm actually a big Zeppelin fan. Well, not so much Zeppelin. I fell in love with Jimmy Page as a guitarist. So Zeppelin has a tie to Plant. So I guess Plant's probably my default go-to there.
I think we have a
We
have
a
this is like
candidate.
this buttery popcorn,
Oh my
like
God.
caramel drizzled over it.
this is
Oh,
butter personified.
Okay.
This right here, if you like
man.
drizzling a little butter on your popcorn, if you like this is not a note, but when you get a quesadilla and it has like that nice little butter topping, that they use to
to
pan fry it,
toast it up.
to toast up the tortilla, that note is in here, and it is gorgeous. Gorgeous.
Okay.
All right, so we can say none of those.
Yeah, no, those dead to us.
Yes.
They're over there.
They're not dead to us.
Well, they're not dead to me. That just tells me, okay, I've got 3 really good barrels over there that I can move in slightly different ways. Maybe either work into a batch, maybe let them set, but
You may want to try and get a extension cord.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's 30%.
well, much like our tasting in your office that day, I think this is hopefully going a little bit beyond expectation as far as quantity and quality.
Oh, well, I mean, first of all, I think the expectation for me from Peerless is now you boys better bring it.
Okay.
Because you've given me back-to-back years of quality,
Okay.
and what I'm tasting here today. My palate's on. I'm feeling these. These are very nice whiskeys.
Go
A
for
little
it.
bit more.
Let me update as well.
Do we have a restriction on the rye barrels we can pick?
I could do. Realistically, it's up to you all. I could do one more,
I could pour it.
but that's up to you all.
Two right?
And 14 bourbons.
Oh, hey, let me ask you. So this
Just
is
a little bit more.
this is for the first one.
That's the number one.
Yeah.
All right.
I can do. You cool with that?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, then we can do what we were talking about. Right.
You're actually pretty good on 4 still yet.
Yeah, I think I'm good on the other two.
Put it down, so I don't need
You're
it.
like-
I'm good.
If you need any more in the middle,
All right.
and there's the one on the far right.
I think I'm.
So now we
Flipping on
choose, right? So now we choose. We try to figure out like which one do we really want. And Chris, you have to remember.
We're doing 1, 4, and 5.
No, 146.
1, 4, 6. Sorry.
So Chris,
My bad.
Chris, you have to remember
Yes.
we're picking here.
We're working.
We're picking these barrels based on the music. Now we got the Foo Fighters, we got Robert Plant, we got Leon Bridges, we got CC Top,
Yes.
we got Zach Brown Band. I mean, what an eclectic, great grouping of music.
A lot
And
of beards there.
there are some beards.
Are you partial? Are you partial?
That's a lie. He helped book everybody based off beard. Is that what it was?
I have a little bit of a say in there, but not really.
Okay.
No.
or did
Danny
they just make
Wimmer-
you feel like you have a say? And then like,
That's
okay,
probably
we just
it.
let him talk.
Yeah, that's probably it. They listen to me on the whiskey, on the music, not so much.
I said, "Oh yeah, really, Fred? Okay."
Former world champion of mustaches, actually, I think last year, year before, is from Louisville.
So I didn't know
You
that
should do
he
a story on it,
was.
seriously.
The
That's a
champion
thing.
of mustaches.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, he's actually a cigar guy too.
Yep.
Yeah, I know that guy.
You all should do a live stream of cigars and bourbon. Champion of mustaches. I just gave you.
I don't know how I feel about mustache competitions.
I don't even know that there was
I
competitions. I learned
mean,
something totally new today.
We got a lot of stuff in this world, and we're having mustache competitions.
Didn't know it was real.
But I do recall a Neil Patrick song about mustaches. It was very funny. Anyway, so we're getting back to this. Like, we want something that is very much about, that we feel that we can taste, while we're listening to the music.
I like buttery biscuits for Zach Brown Band.
Damn, that is good.
Mm-hmm. Right?
A little bit of chicken fried.
But that's
good.
just-
That was a good call.
That-
that was just a good line.
That's a song. Oh man,
Oh man, this is hard.
Oh.
We gotta get rid of one.
this is like choosing a child. Selfish choice.
You can have free one.
Stop it, Emily. Why are you here? Why do we invite her?
The one in the middle,
I was gonna say, I think that's the most unique of them.
the one in the middle has a big coffee note in there.
Hmm.
A lot of coffee in there. Like kind of a chicory, kind of like the New Orleans style of coffee.
You can't tell me
I
I have the best nose out of all three.
Which one?
The one in the middle.
I'd even
I
go as
do.
far
I
as
think
like
it's-
it having like a. Yeah, I like where you're going with coffee. It's almost like you had a little bit of cinnamon to it, also, like cinnamon latte or something. It just
Some kind of like cinnamon espresso type of.
Chicory coffee. Show you the third one. This one has a coffee note in it too.
And keep in mind, these barrels are going to open up and change as we continue to go through. And I don't think any of them's changed in a bad way.
I've got my picks. As soon as here, I have a very important question for you, Caleb.
What's that?
So, I feel like the last one, whatever barrel that is, it's like ready right now, and I feel like if it's in the barrel for another week, we might see some astringency to it. It might get some like oak to it.
Okay.
So can you dump this like right away?
If you give me the go ahead on it, we will pull it today. hopefully get it processed today. Like I'm on it, man. Like I got your back.
I have mine too.
It's before noon.
All right, I do too.
I have mine too.
Those are my two.
Those are mine too.
Okay, so you're doing one and.
Well,
so you're-
shit. Wait, where?
Wait,
where
no, I was just trying to mimic you all. I wasn't specifically doing that. Okay,
So you're the tiebreaker on one of these.
I'm the tiebreaker.
or what we could do is he does like to be neutral. I don't want him to I don't want him
Okay.
to be in a bad spot.
I got you.
We could do this. We could, you and I.
How about this? Both of you pointed to 3. Is that
Three,
right?
yes.
That's
Three's done.
3's done.
So 3
It
is
done.
good.
Let's.
And now we
I've got
blind.
it over here.
Now we double blind these. Now we double blind these two. And by double blind, I mean someone over there.
Yeah.
You all pour it.
Those two.
You all pour it. You know what? You know somehow you mark the glass. You figure out how to mark the glass, and then you tell Caleb, or you give the glasses to Caleb, and then
This has become so
Oh,
confusing.
you want me to double blind tape? So
we're all gonna double blind,
Okay.
and they're gonna get. So whoever gives us the glass doesn't know what they're. You know what? Basically, I don't want to know what we're tasting. So here we go. I'm trying to do this right. I'm trying. But you know what's hard? When you have really good whiskey, I want you to think about this. If you're a football fan, do you choose Joe Montana to be your quarterback, Brett Favre, or Tom Brady? Now, I'm not saying these are the Brett Favres and Tom Brady's whiskey, but what I am saying is that when you start picking and you start getting down to the nitty-gritty, that's really what you're looking at. It's like, what separates this from being awesome and this one from being less awesome? So we have to make that decision on ourselves.
Brands off the tray.
Oh wow.
And the only way to do it
Over here, is it?
is a blind tasting.
All right.
So blind
But
taste.
I really like your
absolute
idea as
favorite.
far as just thinking about the experience. We're talking about Bourbon Beyond. It's gonna be warm. It's gonna be hot outside. You got great acts. Selfishly, I mean, I'll be the first to admit this. I love the food there. I mean,
We do have great food.
It's all phenomenal food.
Thank
Which that's which one's that?
That's one of one barrel?
That's one of one barrel. Okay,
Okay.
so
Okay, let's do all these on the left.
Okay.
With coasters on the left. We'll take Fred's and put it on the right. Okay?
all right.
Good.
You're good for me.
Don't confuse those.
All right. So much like we had left shark and right shark at the Super Bowl parade at one time, we're gonna have left Peerless and right Peerless.
Okay.
You all remember which one is which? Okay.
Better.
Nope. Put yours down. Nope. Just one glass at a
You're not
time.
allowed to tell.
One glass. And we always meet.
Apparently, there are
left to right.
extremely strict rules.
That's
we
right.
we must always have one on the table, and you have to drink. You have to drink it with your left hand if it's left shark. I mean left glass.
Left shark?
Left shark.
Wow.
It's
Okay.
become so confusing.
Just don't fuck it up.
Thanks for that confidence.
I gotta cleanse the palate here.
Mm-hmm. Me too. Okay. I'm ready.
I am too.
All right, so are you ready, Caleb?
Oh, I haven't even tasted this one yet.
Slowing it down.
Now, I just want you to know you are going to be a part of the selection process here. So
Oh,
you will
goodness.
no longer be
I
neutral.
can't be impartial. I'm gonna have to break the rules and pick both of them up. I'm gonna have to two-fist it, Fred.
But because you didn't know how it was poured, you don't know what it is. Your
Mhm.
palate may know, but you don't know. You did not physically see it being poured. You don't know how they put it down. So you should be okay from an ethics perspective.
Okay, at best on ethics.
Well, you eat children, so
That's true.
How did that even get started? Oh, Little Debbie.
Because you were eating babies.
I thought he said babies.
It was confusing.
I mean, what can I say?
Understandable, but
Baby.
it sounded funny.
Next
Mhm.
article comes out about how Caleb eats babies. Master Soul Peerless eats babies.
Are they tender?
How do they
You just say, are they tender? Wow.
Uh,
Wow. Hey, look, you're the one eating babies.
it's true. We're not babies. We're just asking for feedback on it. All right. I know which one.
Me too. All right, so on the count of 3,
Are you ready?
raise your right hand if you like
Well,
right.
again, I'm just trying to think through it from your perspective. Like you said, what matches the music? And I'll clarify this. In my mind, I'm thinking that pour at Bourbon Beyond, they're probably going to have it on rocks, rocking out, listening. I'm going to raise my hand based on that context. Nothing else. Are we raising our hand on 3 or what are we doing?
She's
Shit,
probably
I
going to
just
give us some kind of
retasted.
crazy ass rule.
I just retasted and I totally changed my mind.
That's what I'm saying. Why don't you just take 3 and make this easy on us?
So, now we get salesman, Caleb.
All
right, now-
No, that's. I don't want to make a decision,
How many
Caleb.
do we get out of this?
Good job.
What's the average?
Maybe
Can
30
you
to
do
34
math?
cases.
Can I do math?
I was talking to him. I'm not expecting
All right, so let's do this. Let's you and I vote, and then he can be the tiebreaker. Since
I'm breaking the rules.
you don't want to be. Are you ready? Let's do
I'm
it.
ready.
All right, so on the count of 3,
We're just raising our hand.
pick up your glass.
Okay.
So 1,
He's got both.
2,
Mhm.
3.
All right, I
buddy.
lost.
Me and you.
No, your game. Did you? Well, so you said you switched your mind.
I did.
I was
switch.
originally
So
on the
was
right
that
one.
switched?
I was originally on the right one.
Well, when he
So-
started talking about music and everything, that's when I was like, "Oh shit, that's right." Like I'm picking specifically.
So which one was it?
4? Yes. That's the one I was rooting for. See, they
Yeah,
bought
and you-
one.
you-
I'm happy with it.
and you flipped.
I don't
flipped.
think it was. I don't think it was. Either one was bad. So
So you just
Happy.
witnessed a really ridiculous, far too long process of picking
way too
whiskey,
long of a process.
and it happens. I mean, you taste whiskey, you get a little ridiculous.
So you picked 4 and 6. Both of them were 3. The number 1 was the only one that was left in the finale that was 4 years old.
That very first.
Let
one.
me tell you what happened. The one that was 4 years old that I said no on. There was like a big old smoke come in, and to me, that just meant it's like, I don't want smoke. I don't want smoke.
Well,
from
again,
Bourbon Beyond.
Particularly when you have, like I said, on ice,
Yeah.
everything else. For some reason, smoke just amplifies when you have it on ice. For me, anyway. And it can
Exactly.
overpower.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I got that smoke, and then I'm like, I don't want that. This is ready right now. I can drink it.
Yeah. For whatever reason, whenever I have it on ice, it dulls some of the sweeter tones.
Yeah.
The added water really just unleashes a bunch of oak and smoke. So in that context, I think we made the right decisions.
So what you just
We all
witnessed here,
realistically voted on that.
we did.
Yeah.
We all just ended up switching our votes.
We did. So I mean, but all very good. So
Mhm.
now we go to the bourbon,
Yes.
and so
Oh,
we
man.
just tasted a whole lot of rye whiskey, and now we go to the bourbon.
I was going to say, do we want to make this like halftime, take a break, reset?
Well-
Because I think we blew through every piece of glassware we had on hand.
Well,
Oh, we've got more.
I will tell you that, like on my end, from these things, it's complicated. You can't really do a break. You can't do a pause. You just
Keep
press
going.
Keep
finish.
rolling.
Yeah.
Let's switch.
I'm gonna just keep talking.
We have 4, do we have 5 or 6?
We got 5.
We have 5.
Okay, man.
Water and corn
So
chips.
I am so looking forward to this.
Yeah, we are going to be the first retail outlet to have the Peerless bourbon. Now, you all sold out they sold out within a day.
We
Is it
did.
24 hours?
24 hours.
Wow.
Yeah,
How many
That-
bottles?
About 1,200 bottles.
that can be, you know, you can think of that how you may, but that's for a small distillery to do that and come out and yep.
Oh, well, I've got.
It's a secret stash box.
Well, I didn't realize what a big production is going to be. So these are all like immediate, fresh, like pulled less than an hour ago samples.
Oh wow.
Awesome.
So what that means is we're getting whiskey right now, straight from the barrel, how you will taste it at Bourbon and Beyond. So think
Which
about
is
that for a
cool,
second.
Not watered down. This is exactly what they're getting.
What I love about Peerless is, and they have the ability to do so because they don't have to go through all these checks and balances, all the red tape, all this ridiculousness of a lot of these corporate, distilleries. They can actually start the process right now. So how we taste it is how you will taste it at Bourbon and Beyond, which is pretty cool. What do you think about that, Chris?
I mean, that is awesome. Like barrel proof, right from the barrel. What we taste is exactly what
Yeah,
we're taking out.
and they can buy it at Kroger.
They can buy it at Kroger. It's going to be the only place they can buy it.
So the one store, like we don't know the stores yet, they're going to be available at Kroger, but I can tell you that one store. You do?
I know.
Oh, tell us. What stores will they be available?
That is a hidden secret right now.
Oh,
Well, you better be damn
why do I
sure
even dangle the
it
carrot?
will be
man?
at
Because
it will
that's the
be
best
at
part. We'll
the
probably get some more views, but they
Louisville
will be.
Springhurst store.
I know. I think we've discussed it. We have some people.
Any in Northern Kentucky?
Unfortunately, I will not have any.
So that's a no. He does
I'm
not
sorry.
like. He
I'm
does not
sorry.
like Northern Kentucky.
Wow! Don't say
So-
that. Yeah, it's not my area.
Oh,
I don't go there.
not my area.
My area. I have a division. I have a very strict line that I follow, and it doesn't. go
Okay, all right.
Don't try to make me feel
Well,
like I
here's-
love my Northern Kentucky.
I why don't you
for New Rick stuff too.
why don't you get like another layer where you can like
Because I only am one.
you should
person, right?
you should get Kroger
Uh-huh.
to say like this guy whatever he wants he gets.
You should talk to some people. I'll give you some emails when we're done here. You can go ahead and fire some stuff off. Tell them I
done.
need some more money.
But it has to be directly after the tasting.
And
That
then-
way it'll be
yeah.
just very raw
Oh,
and
it'll be,
honest.
yeah, it'll be nice and like well punctuated as well. I can already see Fred. saying,
Here's the
"You
thing.
need just more money. Take care of it."
Here's the thing about me is like whether it's after a tasting,
Yeah.
or it's after my first coffee. Pre coffee, you'll get something else. I'm really just like don't fucking fuck with me, before my coffee.
I haven't dealt with
Yeah.
Fred, so we're good. I don't want
No
to
one deals with me before my coffee.
I don't want that, Fred.
But
Like-
after first coffee, throughout the end of the day, you're.
Yeah, I'm
you're
the
set.
same. I'm the same. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Except on Twitter, I don't edit my stuff on Twitter, or if I'm
But you
having
don't
to write in
seem
a
that
rush.
bad on Twitter.
No, well, it's more of a grammatical thing. You mentioned grammar. Like, I make errors on Twitter all the fucking time.
I'm gonna start calling him
You know what?
out.
Join the Legion of Coloraders.
Just gonna immediately.
Go for
I
it.
don't ever call him out for anything, but now I'm gonna have to.
That far glass, let me go and grab that because you got 6 and I've only got 5 samples. I mean, I can go grab as many as you want, but these were the 5 that I felt like putting in front of you.
Attention to detail.
Yes.
So here we say it's B1507 01108 8A3B1.
Okay, so I didn't explain the 8A3. So that is Rick 8, first level, barrel number 3 back.
Yeah.
On which part was it? The bottom.
Yeah.
Did your last one have those as well?
Yeah.
Oh.
He did.
We
Some
just
of them
couldn't.
did.
So why don't we have the nice label maker?
Well, because he just threw these together.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't give him
And
enough time.
Again, these were fresh.
And I
would've-
didn't tell him we were going to live stream, so
You
I'm
didn't
the
let
dick.
him know? Oh,
well,
we
I,
talked about it yesterday.
I mean, they should. I mean, in my defense,
Well, my
He
plan
knew.
on this, my plan on this was literally, Fred's a friend. He's coming alone. Me and him are just gonna sit down.
You
We're
have
gonna
a
go
room
through.
full of people.
We're gonna go through my box of half-drink samples that I've been grading through that have much more detailed notes and things on them. And it's like, oh, film crew, I've got 10 minutes. Tuck, bail me out. And that was literally the radio call. It's like, Tuck, I need you to bail me out and go pull some samples.
Well, but
And now you have a room
There's
full of
not a
people
film
tasting
crew
bourbons
here.
in front of
it's a computer and an iPod.
and 1,400 people.
That is true, actually. You did bring your people.
I did bring my people. My people are the ones who set it up. So that works out.
Nice. I like your people.
My people are great people. Did
Yeah.
you get to meet Emily over there?
Emily's way cool. She's on it, by the way.
She is. Emily's a salesperson and a half, and she's very smart. And she's like, you know what? Let's talk about all the stuff that we
So
can do
interesting
right
comment,
after.
not to digress, but back to the previous selection. Let's make the runner-up barrel available to the public. Was a comment that came through.
Oh, well,
No
no
pressure, but that was just mentioned.
Couldn't you do that barrel here at the distillery?
I have a.
Potentially.
You know what? You guys could put like a if you're all right with it, they could do like a Bourbon and Beyond.
If they wanted to release that, I mean, kind of similar to what we did yesterday,
Yeah.
I'd be.
You want to call that a Bourbon and Beyond barrel?
Could.
Like
Throw it up front.
We could. If you don't
that's
mind.
up to you. No, I love that.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Might do that.
Yeah.
Keep in mind.
That's great.
So thank you for the suggestion.
Yeah.
Every now and then. we
Can
come
that
up with some
person?
kind of
Can
good
you
idea.
buy that
Tanya.
person a bottle? Tanya.
Tanya was her name.
Oh,
Tanya, thank
Tanya
you
would
for
like
that.
a bottle.
Tanya, you are now going to need a bottle.
Tony, sorry, Tony.
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 Sorry,
All
Tony.
right. That's a totally
listen.
different name, isn't it?
And what I can gather
Tonya,
from this,
Tanya. Listen, Tony is my boy, though. Tony is my boy.
hey,
He's very good. With
I'm guessing Tony likes it smoky based on the conversation.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the barrel name. Tony likes it smoky.
Tony likes it smoky.
Because you all
Actually,
like
not
branding
bad.
those barrels.
What's that?
You like branding the barrels. I do. Like
Tony
you like
likes
from a
it smoky.
tasting perspective.
Oh yeah.
Like, and you got smoke too, right? It wasn't
Yeah, oh,
just-
yeah.
I
No.
really like smoking crack.
Oh yeah. No, not
Probably not good to be with.
smoking oak, not smoking crack.
You were laughing at that comment. Is there something in particular that we need to know?
Or maybe that's the name. Smoke oak, not crack.
I think people might be offended by that.
I think it's a good message. Don't do drugs. Do bourbon.
Well,
Maybe that's the name of the bottle. Don't do drugs, do bourbon.
yeah. I mean, seriously, don't do drugs. Drugs
Yeah.
are bad.
Not a good plan. Mess
Or
up your
actually-
palate.
Let's put it this way: what is a drug, though? Because marijuana is that you consider it a drug now.
It's true.
We're in the weeds.
We are.
Get it?
Oh,
Get it?
hey!
Hey!
And you still haven't smoked weed?
No.
He
That
hasn't
good.
done anything.
He's never smoked weed. Have you ever smoked weed?
You're gonna not address that.
Man, he's gonna be
Well,
drug tested on Monday.
Yeah, that's exactly.
So how
what's
about
gonna
sample
happen.
one?
Are you guys hiring? You guys- yeah, I didn't inhale.
How about sample one? What do you think?
Yeah. Number one.
Oh yeah.
This is why we wish this would all be scripted.
I don't do scripts.
Takes the fun out.
You can't read a script at this point.
I couldn't read it.
Well,
Okay. Back to the selection. Back to the selection. I get
All right, so
Never mind.
I do a lot
I
of
have
things.
always been very vocal about how much I love your rye and your bourbons. Your bourbon release is very good, but you can tell that the ryes are like, I mean, they're ready. They're ready to go. They're dominating.
Mhm.
The bourbon, like this first taste, it's like it's a completely different experience.
Yeah.
You know,
Night and day.
yeah.
I
So
mean, it's-
these guys need, you gotta, and this is really, it's also a credit a little bit to like your blending, because that first taste that I had of your bourbon that we did on the curation desk,
Mhm.
it wasn't ready.
No, it wasn't.
And what you guys put out was ready.
And that's why when I was tasting on it, I was like backstepping the whole time. Like,
Yeah.
this is not what it's going to taste like in the finale.
Oh,
Like,
back
I've
in
got to do
February,
it.
is that
Oh
when
yeah, Oh no, I had a lot of work, a lot of barrels to go through to find them.
So I'm curious because you obviously agree with me that your rye barrels are there and they're more ready for spotlight. Why is the bourbon? Is it the corn? Is it is there a technique difference? And what's the difference between the rye and the bourbon that is clearly stated, at least in the first glass, and what I tasted in that episode?
So as you know, rye is a grain; it matures quicker, and that category of rye whiskey in itself is often more grain forward, and a lot of the grassy, the raw botanical notes that they're awesome in a rye. Can sometimes be off-putting when it's corn leading the charge that's a little bit younger and it doesn't really have the barrel to back it up yet. So when you talk about rye whiskey, you've got a lot of that pepper, a lot of spice, a lot of the earthiness being covered by the rye grain that's mature, as opposed to bourbon where you've got to really let that barrel shine through.
Yeah.
So that's where bourbon gets tricky.
So bourbon needs. Do you think the bourbon needs to barrel a lot more than rye?
Yes.
Okay.
So let me ask this. Maybe it's a silly question for you. So when you were putting this bourbon together, did you kind of have like, hey, I'd like to release this in 4 years? Or was this, I'm going to go taste these and say, all right, now's the time to really like focus on that release of that?
You're in need. I got you, man. So as far as the timeline, initially we'd projected out and we'd hoped that it'd be ready at 4 years. And going through, it's a game of percentages. If you're talking about our rye whiskey, when we go through, we're very discerning. I mean, we cut out half of the populace right off the bat, just going through tasting. If we don't think it's mature, if it's not robust, or it's not ready, we won't dump it. And the same is true of bourbon. But the bourbon has had a much higher rejection rate, which is why it has been such a limited release on the front end. Going through
That's something Chris knows a little bit about, rejection.
Wow.
Cutting deep.
I'm telling you, like the more we do
Cutting
this
deep with
together,
Fred. That's a new series.
yeah, that's a great new series. Cutting deep with Fred. I'm ready to watch that right now. What other things you want to dig up? Any of my childhood past or anything too? I feel like this is my therapy session.
I feel like every Bourbon Plus needs to feature a personal advice section where someone's like writes Fred and asks for advice.
It's like a love line type of category.
Yeah. Like, but he gives advice before, during, and after drinking.
It's the same question.
Yes, the same question.
How do you feel throughout? I like that.
Eventually, it will come down. You'll find that I'm more sympathetic and loving toward the end.
I mean, I have gotten. It just takes time to get there.
We're just having fun. Don't we always?
He's kind of a chestnut bird. On the outside, he's all prickly and everything, but then under it, you realize he's just a nut.
It's a good description.
That's a great description.
And with that segue, actually, let's talk about our single story warehouse. How about that?
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a very easy segue.
Yes.
Right. The second one was very good.
Okay.
It's very good.
So the single story warehouse, everything we try to do is delivered on consistent conditions, high airflow, somewhat moderated temperature, so that not only are they going to taste consistent, but my personal belief is that we need to have a lot of airflow of that barrel to help it mature. I don't like the heat cycling. I don't like extreme temperatures because I can find.
Oh, you don't like heat cycling? Whoa.
Okay.
Oh, hey.
Man-made heat cycling. Mother Nature can do whatever she wants.
Oh, remember, if you were watching yesterday, you may recall Chris and I talking about heat cycling at Brown-Forman and how like they swear by it, and we said that those who don't use it swear by the natural conditions.
Mm-hmm.
And here we've done
two opposites.
Literally, a young Caleb Kilburn says, "I don't like heat cycling." Mm-hmm.
I even did the at the end. No, everything's personal style and preference. If you're going for a very oak heavy profile, I get it.
That's like a slap-handed compliment. You're going for shit. I get it.
No. I did. Did I say that? No.
Well,
I said,
oak heavy is kind of like saying shit.
It's a very effective means of driving the liquid into and out of the barrel in much more rapid succession than what
Do
natural
you like
conditions
a lot of oak in your whiskey?
I don't like overly oak. No, that's overly oak. Nah.
I get what you're saying, man.
I won't say anything on like specifics, but there are some like you taste and you're like, wow, this is just like chewing.
That being
a piece of
said,
bark.
they sell a ton of double oak. So
We do sell a ton of double oak. I'll give them that.
Hey, you know what? I will.
And it could be my preference too.
In defense of double oak, when I had my wisdom teeth taken out, that was the only bourbon I could taste was double oak because I was like I lost.
That's what you're telling me. Like, that's the only time.
That was the only whiskey I could taste.
Double oak because of my wisdom teeth.
I did like double oak. I do like double oak. It's a good.
I do like double oak.
I
It's a
did
very-
double oak single barrels.
It's a very desserty whiskey.
I think that the difference is too. It's like that double oak. I don't feel it's the same with like when it's sat in the barrel for 25 straight years.
Oh yeah.
And it's not the same.
Yeah,
It's
you're
a
right
younger
about
oak.
that.
It's a younger, fresher,
You're
sweeter
right
oak
about
instead
that.
of like the just ashtray.
Yes.
Oak syrup.
Yes.
Yeah. Oak syrup sweetness.
Was that the Brown Forman messaging?
Maybe. No.
Okay, let's get back to
Let's
tasting
get back
barrels.
to actually doing what we're doing.
What number are we even on?
I don't. You know what? I think, we just,
he's gone so far ahead that he just
we're just
He's
tasting this.
He's on the second round.
he's already gone through again.
So this is sometimes how things go when you're tasting whiskey with friends and you're picking the barrel. Sometimes you go ahead and you have your own like hypothesis of what this should be and what it tastes like, and you think I like this one more than that one. And here we are. We're all kind of having this conversation while we're tasting and not being very analytically professional. So we do apologize for that.
Okay.
We will now get back to our regular program
Scheduled program.
of
Okay, with that in mind,
tasting.
you mentioned number one. You mentioned you weren't a big fan. Do we want to back up and go through these by numbers? Because I saw you pick up 4 a minute ago. Well, he's on 4 for
I'm
sure.
on 4 too. Yeah.
Well, I just did 3, 2.
We can go back.
3, 2,
What the, I
2,
mean,
1.
well, 3, 2 was the
I don't know,
military
so many
unit,
numbers
wasn't
in
that right?
Is that why you're looking at this?
I would. Well, no, but I never thought about that.
We didn't pick number 3 on the last set.
No.
No, that was like the loser.
That was.
Yeah.
So do you want to start back at number 1?
Let's start at number 1, guys.
Number 1, not ready.
Let's do this.
2's got.
I'm okay with saying number 1.
Yeah, number 1's not ready. 2's got some game, very oily. It's got some nice.
So why don't we start at 2?
It's got some nice stuff going.
Stuff. Very descriptive.
Well,
It's got some stuff. That's why he's an expert right there. It's got stuff going on.
yeah. The big thing is like what it has going. It's like it's not really descriptive at the moment, but it's there. You know, the
Yeah.
way it feels in the palate is nice, but it's not jumping out to me. It's not like it's fruit. Okay, I don't know what I don't know what layer of fruit it is. I don't know what it is, but I can definitely tell there's fruit. It has grain. I don't know which grain that is, but I can definitely discern that it is grain. So when I say something like stuff, yeah, that's a little bit of what I mean. It's just
It's kind of
defined to me.
Yeah. And it's not that it's not there, or that it's subtle or something that you really can't sense. It's that it's hard to pinpoint exactly what it is.
That's some of the hardest things
Boom.
to do when you're sitting there.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
got a great, like, to get that sense of smell from the memory. And sometimes I have to go back and forth and, like, I think you do it the best where you're like, oh, I remember it's like I was 15 years old walking in and I smelled that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that again, like my process of like how I got here as a professional was I came home from Iraq, and I'm literally just like I don't know, my entire life is on the fucking line here, and I have to figure out how I'm going to survive. And one of the things that was introduced to me was a process called mindfulness, and mindfulness was just. It was to help me to like get out of like these particular spots. So that again, like I would be driving through the Highlands, and I would see these anti-war signs. You know, they had this beautiful little bird on there. It was like a dove, and it was just like I can't even remember the messaging, but it was very much anti-war. As someone who was just literally back home for a year. all I could see is red. Is like, you don't support us. That's right.
Yeah.
And I would get out of the car and I would pull these signs out of people's yards, and people would tell me, well, that is you fought for that. You fought for people's right to have free speech. And while they may be right about that, as a 25, 26-year-old fresh home from war, you're not thinking about people's rights to fucking, protest a war. You're thinking about the people you lost.
Yeah.
And my therapist at the time had suggested, because I've always had an acute sense of smell, my therapist suggested to me that I start practicing something called mindfulness. And she was like, and do it with food. And her example to me was like, take some barbecued potato chips and eat them and think about every single aspect of those potato chips. How they feel, what they taste like, where they hit your tongue, and what do they smell like beforehand, like when you open the bag. And so from that point on, for the rest of my life, every single thing that I encounter, I like process like the taste, the smell, and I would retroactively start processing things I experienced, things that I remembered and loved. And that is how I've gotten to where I am. And I've applied it to whiskey. And and I've seen people's thoughts that sometimes I'm just full of shit, which don't get me wrong, I can be full of shit. But when it comes, I talk a lot. But when it comes to my tasting notes, those are things that I've actually like experienced or tasted or thought. So so that's kind of where that all comes from. And I appreciate you mentioning that and pointing that out, because when we're growing up and we're in those kitchens, we're in those places, that is real. Like you remember those moments. Some of people's best memories are eating or around the table or something. So
Smell triggers the most vivid memories.
it's true.
It's true.
Yeah.
What do you do with, like, who makes barrels?
You covered
Kelvin
Trying
Cooper.
to do that?
Yeah. Real quick,
Emily's a little behind. It's all right.
I know this is live on the 3rd, but it's almost the 4th. Find a veteran. Thank you. For
That's
your
right.
service,
Thank
man.
you for your service, sir.
Thanks, brother.
Hey, you fought for good whiskey.
I did. And number
You
3
fought
is
for
good
so
whiskey.
much. Thank you. Seriously.
So number 3, I have to throw out. Do you remember that cinnamon like oats, that instant oatmeal? that
Oh
you
fuck
made?
yeah.
Like-
Oh my God, yes.
I mean, it's just
Yes.
so much.
Quaker's oats,
Quaker,
cinnamon.
that's
Great
it.
description.
It's almost
Quaker's
like
oats, cinnamon, oatmeal. Hell yes.
I mean, wow. That takes me back to being a kid and like, oh, that's what I'm gonna make. Like, it's come home from school. That's what I'm gonna eat.
I love it. See, I told you.
He's good.
Kroger's got someone special here.
So which number was that?
That's 3.
3. And you said you wanted it in or you wanted it out?
Yeah, that's
I want
definitely
that one in.
that's definitely number 1 right now.
Yeah.
And that was number 1 before he said the great tasting note there.
And now I'm pulling out. Thanks, sir. Thank you. This is fun, Fred. I like when we did it. We did one not too long ago. We did a 4 Roses.
Yeah.
That was cool, and that's when I experienced being in Fred's office and leaving Fred's office. And
Yeah.
that's okay. He's like, oh, hey, do you want to taste anything I haven't had?
Did you have an ASCAP tied on you?
He did not tie an ascot on me, but
Caleb was able to select his ascot.
Yes.
Yeah, I could do
But
that.
From a variety.
he didn't put one on me. I guess I wasn't cool enough to come in. Like, I had to earn my right to be in his office.
No.
To ask on
No,
It's the initiation.
It's okay.
it's complicated. The ascot.
So yes, I am good at rejection. As Fred just said. Not even
Coming
good
full
enough for his
circle.
ascot. So yeah, you just learned to take it. That's
Not true. I was not rejecting you that day.
no, but you did let me taste some stuff I haven't had before, and I got to taste one not long after of a bottle that you said is, I think it was Old Crow.
Oh yeah.
Oh, over at Bottle and Bond Kitchen,
Yeah.
and that was interesting.
Yeah. So this is a very fruity nose on 4. Dried apricot, pear.
You could make arguments for a lot of different dried fruits here.
Yeah, you really could. It's crazy. Then the palate is nothing like the nose.
Not
Juxtaposed.
Yeah. Yeah, this is kind of medicinal on the palate. Not in a bad way, not like cherry cough syrup, but more like medicinal candy.
So you're
Like
talking
throat
everything's got
lozenge.
the smell. This almost tastes the way a cigar lounge smells.
A what?
It tastes the way a cigar lounge smells.
A cigar lounge.
Yeah, so it's just think of
It's
like
got that
old, like
tobacco
weird
still in
velvety, old velvety furniture, that hanging smoke that's in there. Even if there's no one in there, like you're doing an account visit, it's noon, no one's in there. It's just that stale smoke that's in there, and stale doesn't necessarily mean
Caleb's
bad. It's
painting a
just
picture
different.
here, isn't he?
My God.
Where's the cigars at? Let's find out.
Wow.
Did you bring any?
No, I didn't bring any cigars, but that I know that. I know exactly what you're talking about. And that is spot on. Well done. Well done. I love this. I love the applying of creativity to tasting notes, and it's an art.
Also, too, what we get is not necessarily what you're going to get when you go and buy this bottle.
Yeah.
Actually,
It's just us.
everyone
it should be though.
everyone is different.
I mean, it's going to be barrel strength. It's going to be non-chill filtered. This same whiskey that poured
I
up
think
into the barrel.
I think he meant taste wise.
No,
Yes,
taste-wise.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, our
Same
palates are
product,
definitely
identical
different.
product.
Yes.
And here's the thing: like, there's not been a lot of studies that's based on taste or smells, but the most common study based on smells is that actually women smell better than men.
believe that.
And
So are you saying they can actually smell, or they actually do smell better because they
Yes.
actually
No.
Yes.
Check.
Yes, to
so I would say, like, when you're going through this process and you're thinking about it, make sure you have a diverse group. I know we're just three white guys up here right now, and they kind of just meet. It's happenstance, actually. But we are. Three white
No,
guys.
I mean, not arguing it.
What's your genetic makeup?
Clearly, a white guy. I'm like, what? Are you?
I know you got some Native American in you.
Not that I'm aware of.
No, Native
Mine's
American.
Mine's mostly English.
So you're like Anglo-Saxon.
So let me
Yes,
say
that's
this about
exactly
my
what it
red
is. Let me
hair.
go ahead and pull that out for you.
So my background, when things went into Eastern Kentucky, they didn't come out clean on those. I don't know what's up the family tree. I look at the family tree, and there's a lot of question marks.
Yeah, and I'm seeing that the DNA studies that they put out there are really kind of like not well, good fake. There were two twins that sent their stuff in, and they came back with different DNA results.
Ooh,
Triplets.
Yeah, I saw that.
Triplets, they happen with triplets too.
identical triplets are like. Oh,
So have you ever done that?
I thought
Like
about
the 20
no.
or what?
No, my whole thought on that is like,
Yes.
so I was a part of the government's registry of soldiers in like
I'm waiting to figure out how this
It's like-
ends here.
in
because,
like
like,
1998.
are you?
So the government has my DNA, and they were supposed to tell me, like, I was supposed to be a part of like some kind of like testing. I never got anything.
So are there more Freds out there that we don't know?
I don't know why they would want more friends.
imagine a clone army of Freds.
Oh, shit. I'm leaving the country.
Yeah.
I can just see that right now. Just all Freds.
They
sitting down for us.
don't come for you with guns. They come for you with dry humor and sarcasm.
Nonstop.
Yeah.
And it's just that's the torture.
They invade a population and just ruin their self-esteem. That's how they attack you.
bring you on down. Tell you can't handle rejection. You know.
That Smoky Lounge on number 4, is that in the final selection or let it ride?
I'm okay to put number 4 in the final selection.
So,
That's that Smoky Lounge cigar one.
so we're,
That would have been this
Yeah.
One left. That way.
Yes.
And that'll be a good mirror for what we did earlier.
Do we have more number 4?
Oh, we
Can I pour some more? of that?
about a whole barrel worth.
Oh, okay. Well, Emily said I can't do anymore, so no, it's not actually making it in the selection. That's the story of my life. Okay.
Okay.
No, you can't do anymore.
You don't know that one.
You want to do a final check on 2, 3, 4, and I think 2 y'all had is a little bit weaker. Do you
Two's
want to
weaker.
I do. Yep.
Okay.
I do like 5.
Okay.
Your opinion doesn't matter. Eric knows that by now. He's worked with me long enough to realize.
Just slipping in our pocket. We got a little
No.
I like 5 a lot.
Do you all think something different over there?
Nope.
Okay. Just seeing if we're getting turned down by our
No, you're doing
audience.
Okay.
Too fun.
So 3, 4, 5, 1 and 2 are out. They're gone. They're dead. We're over it. 3, 4, 5.
So let's
Same
taste.
with 3, 4, 5.
Let's knowingly taste 3, 4, 5. See if we can figure out if we can cull one.
So, stupid question.
No such thing.
No chance of me getting 2 of this, right?
2 bourbon barrels? No, unfortunately not. Wish we could.
See?
Not right now.
Selling the crap out of me on rye, but I want
Well,
more.
Like I said, there's a much higher rejection rate. Like I'm going through
I know,
like,
I feel it all
oh yes.
the time. I know how the rejection works.
Yeah. So this is it's really hard to come across single barrels of bourbon. I'm tickled that we were able to find 3 that we even wanted to put in the final selection because, again, it's younger. We have to be a lot pickier as far as what we're pulling across. And we've got a few commitments that I have to strap together barrels for. I'm already behind the 8 ball on this one, so I can't give up.
No worries. Caleb, as we do more of these in the future, I always ask for more.
Okay.
Usually, if you sample me on 5, I want all 5. So
And I'll
if I
say
get 2 and I walk away with 2,
I'll say
was
this
like, "Five's
too.
okay."
It's like
Take your
you should be very proud that you have this quality to put out in front of
In
us.
4 years.
You know, you should be very proud.
Fred, you need some more? Looks like your glasses are a little low.
So, Caleb, from my reference and probably some of our viewers, did you start here
Yes.
the day that groundbreaking? I mean, what's your
So not quite the groundbreaking, but
So
about-
I can dismiss 5 if you all are okay with dismissing 5.
Hold on one second.
I thought it was 3 and 4 as far as being close. So I'm cool with dismissing 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get rid of 5.
I'm cool with getting it done. It's still a little young, like hot.
No, it's not. It's not. Actually, it wasn't that it was hot to me. It was
Really?
like
For me, it's a high floral, and a lot of times when
Yeah.
you get
it's not
really
really
floral, really botanical, it's easily confused as young.
So I got a
And
little
I would
bit of
just assume you
spice
not
in
take that
Is
risk.
that what it is?
Yes.
So is that
Very
when you're saying that spice? I mean, I had a ton of spice on this front.
Yes.
Like everywhere. On number 5.
Oh, do we have a few questions?
our video is not syncing.
I don't
Okay.
know what that means, but
What time we're in this step? Fun fact about doing selections and tastings all morning. I drink a lot of water. I'll be right back.
is it both videos or is it just Facebook?
I've got a bunch of interview requests too.
It was the Facebook one. That was never.
I got on there. I got on it.
You got one.
Yeah, it was just.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to pull up Facebook for a minute, and it was my phone.
Did you press the play button?
Yeah.
Whatever I can do to make fun of Emily, I don't get very many chances.
Hey, it's fine. You can make fun of me all you want.
So I don't.
Did you want free run?
So give us a second here. Like I have some.
So
I wish I had.
if I could in any way foresee, I could take 3 and spread it out. I'm so worried about it.
That'd be about 100. That'd be about 100 cases.
Yeah,
Yeah, 3 barrels would be about 100.
Yeah.
2, I was very, very.
I think 2 would be.
I think it sells awesome. It's just too much.
Yeah, live would probably be 30.
I'm okay with after this if it goes through really, really well.
It's hard to say.
If
Yeah,
you do one more
I
after
mean, it's
that.
about 35. Honestly, 35. Yeah.
2 works for me because when we first sat down, we said, we really want these in this couple stores. in this
Yeah.
city.
Remember, you're still on video.
Yes. Did you see that I didn't say what store numbers? Because I thought
What store numbers?
Not gonna do it yet, buddy.
You don't have to.
Stay tuned. We're gonna find out the store numbers. I'm gonna
Not
private play.
gonna do it yet. You will know soon. I'll tell you. I'll
A
tell you.
big
What, I'll
reveal
tell
coming
you after we stop a live stream. They know because we talked about it before.
Okay, so the live stream
See,
stopped.
Emily probably didn't even pay attention to me. It's actually what happened. I was talking to her and she said, "Yeah, that's just noise. Is what I hear right now." That's what Eric usually does.
Okay. I should something.
Yeah, that's what it is. Other than that, he just lets me go.
All right, so here we go, buddy. We're going to go
We're ready
live
to go?
stream like right now.
It's Stacey.
It's all about you.
It's really, really close.
Hey.
This is uncomfortable. Is what this is right now.
So
Do you want to start again?
I mean,
So
That's okay.
we are in the middle of selecting the very first single barrel of bourbon at Kentucky Peerless
what
ever
a cool experience
for retail. It's been
By
great.
the way.
We went through a lot of different things. We thought you were with us the whole time, but
We
apparently
only had one of them.
the video did not sync up. You can go to my YouTube to find out more. So hopefully
I'm
people
Chris,
see
by the
that.
way.
This is Chris Blanford, my boy from Kroger. What an incredible tasting partner he is because he has a great palate. Talk about
Thank
it.
you. Talk about my palate. That's catching me completely off guard. And so, just fun. I like the taste of one of the things that I do when I look at tasting is kind of what we were doing before. When is it going to come out? And
Yes.
What time of the year is it going to come out?
Are we
I think that's
actually working on
extremely
that
important.
guy
I think so. That's what I was told.
now? Okay.
So it's kind of like, when is this stuff going to come out? Like, is this going to release in October or is this going to release in August? It's two different, temperatures outside.
Talking
That's
about
something
your selections.
My palate, whenever I look at selections, I always look at when they're going to come out.
So we're gonna process this as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely be in time for
Bourbon and Beyond, right?
Hometown Rising, Bourbon and Beyond, Modern Life, all the.
Oh, we should be able to beat that.
So probably.
Hey, we can get close, buddy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Just trying to think of over here.
We got
plenty of time.
Tight knit crew.
So
we're very close.
we're close. So we're in the middle of tasting. Are we repouring the 1 to 2?
So we
We-
did 5, right? So we marked out
Five's
5.
gone. Five's
I
gone
need
instead.
more of
3
whatever
and 4.
one.
Oh.
So here we are. We're about to select the very first Kentucky Peerless single barrel in
How
history.
exciting is this, all right?
So this is very, very exciting. This is for Bourbon and Beyond.
Yes.
You'll be able to find this at
Yeah,
Bourbon and
that's what
Beyond
this is.
and Kroger.
Yes. So this.
What
is
Kroger
something-
stores will they be in?
It's a good try it. King Fred. Not happy.
You want to ask me what the Nashville is while you're at it?
Yeah.
Okay,
Hey,
okay.
actually, Caleb, what's the Nashville?
So what?
I'll tell you what. I'll tell the stores if he gives the Nashville.
Oh, wow. Way to leverage
I
that.
know, right?
Wow.
That's
Raising
good.
the stakes, huh? All right.
Second match.
Ratchet
I
up.
like it.
Caleb says up to
Why
you.
don't we get Corky in here and let you can hammer
Yeah,
them
where's
out.
Corky?
I'm happy to.
He's having lunch right now.
Oh, he is? Ah,
Should we be having lunch right now?
from a health perspective, maybe.
All right.
I started
You're
my
having,
day at
you're having your
6,
forward
so-
right now.
We need.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So I don't get this. I assume she gave this to me.
You're getting all your
Yes.
fiber.
Yeah.
That's great.
So that's 3.
Goes on the left.
Yep. Yeah, glad I
Do
pulled
you guys have a
fresh
vote?
samples for this.
Yeah, really.
We do have a vote.
You all do have a vote? I mean, he said you did.
Cordell
We
said he
would've
did.
put 5 back in on appeal. So
Oh, you want to put 5 back?
we would.
I would actually say no to that. Like if you wanted to put it, even if you put it in the distillery, I don't feel like it's.
Fred said,
We would
don't
like to-
sell it at all. That's what I heard.
No, it's well, no. To Caleb and our point earlier, it's
That's
not.
what's going
It's all
on
good.
there.
It's not ready.
Emily's home.
It's not ready.
Don't take this the wrong way.
It's Emily's barrel.
I was kind of skeptical when you threw it into the mix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
It's good. It just
no.
the somewhere between that floral and that herbaceousness, it doesn't jive.
Well,
for
this
me
is what
personally.
happens when we get talking.
Yes.
Sometimes I lose focus,
Okay.
and that's why like when I'm like tasting, I try to have like no music, no talking, just kind of like
Sound deprivation chamber.
Yeah,
Can't hear nothing.
exactly.
Yeah.
Those are nice, by the way.
I've never been in one.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
What is that?
The sound deprivation chambers.
I
where
don't know what that is.
It's like you're like wading in like all kinds of salt water.
Oh,
Right.
you're talking those like the whole thing.
Isolation.
Yeah, you can float in.
Oh, I've never been to one, but that sounds interesting.
Okay, so
I know there's one over near Lucky Market. Not that it's any competition.
no,
with you all.
Is that what we're going to today? Like after this, we're gonna go all to a deprivation
There's one
chamber?
out of Spring
because we've
Hill,
had to spend so much time
is
with
there?
Fred.
It's one of us.
I had no idea.
all right, so let's
Yeah,
get
comes
real. This is
All right.
very important because we're picking an actual barrel here, and we're not allowed to have two for some reason, which I'm confused by.
We're trying.
But so
How about
we have to
we're
choose.
getting
try
shut
this
down.
math?
Not to throw you guys on blast, but we're
Hey,
getting shut
wish
down.
we could.
I'm supposed to
I guess
have,
that would be a good
I think,
problem to have.
15 total for the year.
15?
I think we're supposed
How
to do
about-
like 15 total for the
About
year.
14 for Kroger.
Oh, wow.
See,
And
I was told no again.
You will get
See,
one.
I'm very good at rejection.
You have to appreciate. You have to appreciate his
Tenacity.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, I don't stop.
and in his
Determination, Brett.
He's a fan. Like he
I
was actually.
love Peerless.
He was so excited
We
about
appreciate
this.
it.
This was, I mean, we talked
Yeah.
a couple months ago. This was all just on the table
We really
in
appreciate
a small, tiny little conference room,
so,
and she said yes.
so I didn't add any fresh pour to my number 4. We'll get there, but I want you to notice that when we do.
No, I did.
So this is without anything added.
So,
Yeah. It's opened up.
I did.
So yours is still kind of reserved. It's still kind of that spicy herbal nature.
Yeah, I'm good.
It's not
No.
anything added.
So this is after it's opened up. It's like just boom cigar shop.
So note 2.
And the reason why this is important to talk about right now is like these whiskeys that
We can.
have been just pulled from the barrel and have been sitting there for a while. They essentially are
Was it?
seeing oxygen for the first time, like
I'm impatient.
absolute oxygen anyway. And so
I'm
like
so
that
impatient like you.
that taste, that initial taste may not always be absolute. So like the taste after it's opened up a little bit could really be what you would get in the bottle. So
This is
we
after they've opened up.
have to pay attention to that.
This is
Did
both
you
of
do
them.
anything to that?
I haven't added a thing to either one.
I want you to open the cap up.
What's that? You want to open?
Open the caps up on both of them, and we'll retaste
Yeah,
it. If you
nothing to those things as well.
not yet.
I think this is actually a decision in history.
Yeah,
It
The
is.
first one.
Historical moment, right
That's
here.
right. I'm actually writing the book right now.
Yeah.
Sorry, talking to a best-selling author. It's like,
Well, the only thing is, like, I want to caution you with that, in that, like, you never. I love Peerless. I like what they're doing. I like how I like their whiskey. I like everything. But I always want to caution you into not get caught up in hype. Let it always be about the whiskey. Let your decision be about the whiskey and not a moment.
Makes sense.
So, because this is why, when you go to a store, a consumer comes into your store, they don't give two shits that something was the first whatever. None. Zero.
Does it taste good?
It's about the whiskey.
Yep.
Okay?
I agree.
So we do love our friends here at Peerless. I genuinely
Absolutely.
really care for Caleb, Cordell.
First time I met Caleb.
Very,
It's not gonna
very
be the
nice,
last.
very nice people.
Feelings mutual.
It's very genuine, but it can never sway how you feel
I
about
agree.
the whiskey. So always remember that. And it's hard sometimes because sometimes you have to give like a low. Sometimes I've given like low scores to people who
To
are
somebody you love.
I really care about, like who are good friends of mine. But
It's the best ever. It's like the aeration trip.
that was crazy. I mean, he just-
What? It's too fancy for
I
a
am
decanter.
not
It
common.
doesn't need a decanter.
Not
I don't
common.
need that.
Congratulations.
You shake the barrel up.
So that was kind of our mindfulness moment, right? Our clarifying moment for Brett.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day,
I always
we
tell
can have
people-
fancy bottles, fancy
Yeah.
history, some fancy stories. You can tell a good note. You can put different bottle people in front, pour 'em,
Yeah, you're
sample
right.
'em.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've always told
We
you
can have
that.
John in his low cut shirts with the gold chain and the fancy sprays and all that. Like,
What's he talking
so
No,
John John's our single barrel curator, and he's known for being very over the top of his attire and
Gotcha.
appearance.
I think that's really important to tell the viewers.
Yes. So if you,
Like, what is Caleb talking about?
it's
That's
pretty
how
fair.
he picks
John's
whiskey.
over the top. Like John, like to our private the other night, he was wearing a rose printed sport coat, and
Good man.
he was over
Where's
the
the
top.
ascot? Is my question.
That's what I was going to ask too.
You know what? He's in St. Louis right now.
Honestly,
When he comes back, we're going to just hammer him that the whole conversation was about him not having a ascot.
So
Anyway,
let me ask.
I was complimenting you. I was saying I appreciate it. At the end of the day, it comes down to what's in the glass.
That's right.
Right. It
Yes.
does.
I went the long way around. We were talking about ascots and John and everything else.
We're good.
Yes.
Ascot's attire.
Do you want a fresh glass since we've aerated?
They're fresh
Without-
glass interior.
Is that what you want, Fred?
I'm okay with a fresh glass.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Okay.
And then we have to do lunch.
We have to?
Are we doing lunch?
Okay. Everyone be very mindful of our volume here.
Well, maybe.
Nice way to put it.
Oh, that we don't have much glass. Caleb's gonna have to run back to the brick house.
That's okay. We can take you all with us. We have to go back to the ring.
I think that would be not bad at all.
Woo! I can't believe all these people are watching us drink this game.
How many people are watching us?
I'd say probably in total we've had
Clearly, it's 1.5.
we've probably had about 500-600 people watching us the whole time.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Caleb's a little freaked out right now.
I
You
figured
don't
it'd
like to
be.
be in front of the camera that often.
I thought it'd be the collection of our
He
parents
loves
and
the line.
Jacqueline and.
Oh, my wife watches nothing.
It was
But
just
I-
like my wife, his wife. That was about it.
My wife watches nothing that I do. Yeah.
My wife has no idea. Like I told her I was on earlier. I guarantee you she's on.
Here's the
She
funny
doesn't
thing
give
about
a
that.
shit.
She's just like, so I was in like the New York Times, and she's like, oh, cool. So what do we have?
Great reaction.
Oh, that's nice.
What are we having for dinner?
Yeah.
You
Why
know.
don't you get in the kitchen? Tell me about
But
your New York Times article.
But she's a really big deal. You know, she's the head honcho at the VA.
Really? Is she really?
Yeah, she's the director of mental health, the little VA.
That's how you guys got together.
No,
You see
actually,
where I
that's,
was going.
actually,
You had a
no.
mental health problem. I'm saying.
Yeah, no. I mean, the mental health stuff is not that way. I'm a constant test. I'm a constant study.
She's constantly looking at you and be like, "What is wrong?"
Why did I marry this asshole?
What happened? We'll see her. Maybe I have a mental health problem.
Actually, no. My wife is I would love for her to leave the VA for a lot of reasons. But when I bring this to her, she says, "But when I see a patient, I think I'm helping you." Fuck. You know, because my passion for helping veterans is it's like, I mean, I would stop at. If a veteran called me, I don't even know. Like the people who are like on the side of the street holding a sign, I don't believe half of them. And the ones that are truly veterans, like there are programs that can help them and everything. So they're just really looking for money to get drugs or something.
Yeah.
So like when I see if there's ever a veteran I can help, I will. I'll do whatever I can to help them. And like that is, I don't talk about that very often, but I love our people. I love veterans. Like,
With it being July 4th, I think it's another time to thank every person out there who's a veteran who's watching.
yeah, maybe it's a little bit more right with me right now, but like I normally don't talk about these things.
My brother-in-law actually works in the Coast Guard. He actually just got shipped back over to.
You know how hard the Coast Guard is?
In a month.
The Coast Guard is one of the most difficult services because they have to fight all these people that are like running drugs into the country, who are doing all this stuff, and then they don't really get their actual designation. So.
And I do have to call out just a little bit because he definitely would be watching this. It's Josh. He just got sent over just a little bit ago. He won't be back for probably another 2 months. So
be safe,
Josh.
Josh.
Definitely miss you.
Be safe.
Absolutely
God bless
fantastic.
Be safe, and a little trick. I used to have people send me Listerine bottles filled with Jack Daniels.
So he's a rum.
Oh,
Aspect of the
we
word.
can send you some good rum.
He loves
But we
rum.
have to match the rum to look like Listerine because it would come up in the same like an X-ray.
And they clear
It has to be like the
is it?
same.
Clear Listerine.
Clear Listerine.
Clear Listerine.
No kidding.
I didn't know that meant clear Listerine. I don't know about the Listerine in my house.
Well, we just get we send him a bottle of Foursquare.
You can do that.
It's some good rum.
So he's never had that.
What are we doing again? Where are we?
Okay.
I mean, all right. Well, I know we're here.
This is
Okay.
this is the reason I'm here to let him remind him where he is.
So where we are with so we have the front one and the back one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here, this is the number 4 that hasn't been added to. Even the last round hasn't been added to. I want to make sure, you're getting that.
Definitely some oxygen to it.
Man, it's very toffee.
What this tells me, there's so much about American whiskey we don't know. What happens between the time we pour it,
And times it goes into that little sample bottle between the time it hits the shelf.
So if you're a scientist, instead of trying to figure out how the fuck you make whiskey quicker, maybe you focus on what happens between the time you pour the whiskey and the time you drink it, or what's happening in a barrel. I feel like science is trying to taking the wrong path to help whiskey right now. Everyone wants to try to find out how to make whiskey faster, how to make good whiskey taste better at 6 months. It's had some kind of weird fucking scientific method where the higher alcohols are taken out, or they're putting it in a paint canister thing and they're shaking it around to get the extraction from the. I mean, just
So just to clarify, does Fred Minnick believe in enhanced aging in any way?
Ooh, what a good question, because I don't know if you've ever answered that.
I have always believed that I will taste anything. I will anything.
I will drink all of it.
Anything you send me, I will taste it, and I will be as objective as I possibly can. And I'm sorry, but there has never been a rapidly aged or anything that's been sent to me that's had any kind of enhancement techniques added to it that I thought was palatable. None.
One step further, to go kind of full circle to the earlier thread, is heat cycling an enhanced aging technique.
Oh.
So that's been around since the 1800s.
Ooh.
It's been around a long time.
Okay.
Heat cycling is the one method that's been added to the system
Still years ago.
that
Go
really
for it.
seems to work. Because you cannot deny the quality of Old Forester.
No,
Can't deny it.
it's a good product.
Not at all.
Yeah. Can't deny the quality of Woodford Reserve.
But I guess what I'm asking is, do you classify it as enhanced aging? Do you feel that the fact that it pulls oak out quicker makes it taste older than it would on natural basis?
Now, are you
Actually,
saying
no. I think it's more like those warehouses are.
Not different, just unique flavors. maybe.
Now, are you saying anything in
I
the
don't-
way that they're doing it? Because clearly, there's everybody's trying anything possible. If it's shaking barrels or putting out.
Well, and honestly, some of the big distillers have patents on certain things,
Mhm.
but that's really more to keep people from doing the things that work.
Yeah.
So there's a company that someone in this room used to work for, who's on his phone right now, that holds a patent on a 6-day-old bourbon, and it was actually good.
Really?
So they own
Really?
and they own the
Seems
patent. They own
Somebody's
a
holding
patent
back
on
on
it.
us is what it sounds like.
So no one else can use it.
Can we
So-
talk more about that when we press the end? Because I'm interested.
We'll see.
Awesome.
In all honesty,
It's okay. I'm not going to start it. I don't have to.
I am happy to talk about that. The thing is it's actually kind of a hidden patent.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
See, I'm just asking questions because I want to pick your brain. I don't necessarily weigh one way or the other. I'm just curious.
Yeah.
So I
Because
have.
there is no disputing. Fantastic product, whether it's natural or heat cycled, it's both really good. There's some slight differences, but you can't deny the quality of either one. It's just style differences. I was just asking if you believe it's an altered aging technique, which it does vary in the fact that you are altering the way that the barrel experiences environment. I would think it's an enhanced aging technique, but that's my personal belief. You have a little bit more clout.
I'm sorry, what?
I was somewhere between questioning
You should
and
have asked
flattery.
that really serious question about 5 bourbons.
No, it's not that. It's like
It technically, like, if you're looking at it just strictly like, oh, does it, if you're say, yes, it enhances, you're saying, okay, it makes a better product, but it does vary from the natural order of things. If you say, basically the only way you can say, no, it's not an enhanced technique is if it was completely ineffective and didn't do anything, and they didn't actually change the environment on the barrel, which is, you can't do it.
So does that
By
happen?
definition,
Would
it
be my
is an
question.
enhanced aging technique.
So-
I guess the variance would be if you're saying the ones where they're trying to do the rapid aging where it's not making a very good product, that would be whatever the opposite would be.
here's
It's a
the
detrimental
thing
aging
that
technique.
here's the thing that no one's really picking up on. Everything that is being used is trying to get classified into bourbon.
Yeah.
If they didn't do that, if they put it into Kessler's or some kind of like blended whiskey that's like bottom shelf, it could have a contribution to the industry. But instead of like putting into like the things that people will drink with Coca-Cola, they're trying to be a premium and charging upwards of $40 for. And they're clearly not a premium. And it's kind of like, I can get I can go to the gas station and get a sausage biscuit. It'd be awesome. I go to McDonald's and get a sausage biscuit. It'd be awesome. I can go to my grandma's and that sausage biscuit, which took, hour and a half to make from the dough to the fresh pork being neat, everything. It's like those things are very different from the gas station, and which is McDonald's, which is better than the gas station. And then you have my grandma's sausage biscuit, which is different than McDonald's, better than everything else that's been put on the table. What you have here is we have people who are making gas station sausage biscuits trying to compete with my grandma in the
And grandma
premium,
don't like that.
in the premium quality. And they don't need to be like saying they're premium. They're not premium. Just say what you are. You're
Why hide it? Like,
exactly. They could actually
if
make
that's
money
what you do, why not? Just
and
do it?
do well if they went after like the blended categories. And I'm telling you, like Kessler's volume would probably go up because if you were to say instead of like we're 75% grain neutral spirit, or 75% like rapid aged product, you might actually, go up because you could say like a little bit of a
I would like to say something too. When we look, I read bourbon form after bourbon form with some good people,
Yeah.
and I think that there's sometimes that we get our friends from across the river over here to get a bad rap because it's Indiana or something like that.
It's a good product.
That just going back to what Fred said, it's about the whiskey.
Yeah.
And at the long run, if it tastes good, why not? What does it matter? what happened to it or where it was. Like, if it tastes good and you like it, that's awesome.
If it's good,
It's good.
if it's good, it's good. There's no
That's it.
disguising.
It doesn't
If it's
matter
good,
what happened to it.
It's good. But here's the thing. Rapid age products are never good.
There we go. Well, that was a very long way to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not good.
Yeah. So, do we have any questions before we pick our very last one? Any questions?
No
No.
more questions?
We've actually had a lot of questions, a lot of comments, and
So
You-
I think I
gone through the
have
majority.
mine because I really like one over the other.
Don't tip your hand yet.
yeah.
To be realistic,
Oh, really?
I don't know if anybody knows. I mean,
You
What-
can't
what
beat
do
the
you-
rats.
it's here, but I'm the one.
Why didn't you overrule it in the rye then if you wanted to?
Because I
play
did
that
like the
card?
rise. I did like the rise.
Okay.
But this one here, I could beat them. I thought, I don't think we made a bad decision. I liked both of them, but there was one I liked more. This one's different. This one's hard.
It is very difficult.
We could just get them to say two.
They can't because
They're not budging.
They have to. They have to think about all the other people.
We
Yeah.
get it, but
Yeah.
is it going to stop me from asking?
No.
No.
I hope not.
Keep asking.
Honestly, it should be a good thing that I want. Like, we want to keep asking for more and more
Yeah.
barrels.
No. How
If I'd be like, well, you know what? I'm not even sure this one
We're
actually.
waiting 8 months, yeah, we can do another one in 5 months.
Say 8 months. That's way
That's,
too
well,
long.
that's, we'll just, it'll be, you guys can just
Can we
talk.
talk more at
You guys
once?
just talk until then.
Can we- 8 months? 8 months of sitting here with
Hey,
Fred?
Fill it.
I'm out. I'm out. I'm done.
you're talking with her? Get me Cordell.
Oh, okay. So
We get
she's
you.
my
We get you.
problem.
All right.
All right, I feel really good about where these whiskeys are.
Deal.
Oh, goodness.
They're both very nice. Say that, but what we're looking at
There's
here,
one I just like. If not, I mean, Caleb could go pull more for me. But I'll take
Well, this is where I get really tied up because there's what is probably better or what's more textbook. I like weird. I like different. I like funky.
oh,
Yeah.
back eating babies.
Wow.
What a strong stretch, but I'm game. He's-
Like
that's the
all
reason that he
directions
likes
you could
that
wiggle
very
with that.
tenderness.
You're just looking for that. Okay.
Is it wrong though?
No, bring it on.
So we can keep continuing to make fun of Caleb.
No, go for it.
Okay.
Please do.
It's cool.
He's good sport.
He's not going to go home and cry tonight. Let's see.
No more than I would anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Nice.
So I love both of them, but there is one that I like.
Yeah, I'm actually out of all of them. So
You're what? Oh, you're out.
I'm out.
Wait a second. Okay, so I didn't actually.
Yeah.
Or here, trade me. Take the older samples that have opened up more.
Those are
I know what they're
my
like.
older ones too, Caleb. If you want to take the bad ones there.
I like new ones. We do both.
Okay. Okay, I'll take the
I want to
old.
make sure.
Take those.
I want to make sure I still feel right about this. This is really hard.
I'm going to say just I don't think there's a bad choice, no matter which one we
Yeah,
pick.
so
I
is
think
this a
they're
rock,
both
paper, scissors one?
fantastic. It may be.
Secret ballot.
There's one I really like more than the other, but if the majority rules, I go with the
Here's the thing: is when they open up, one is greater than the other. That's it.
Gosh, it's so hard.
So let me ask this question, just because I can see it here. How much does timing factor into your selection? Because the rye that you already picked, like I could have that to you here in a couple of weeks. Bourbon
Ready.
wise, I've got one selection that's not going to be ready until the end of this month. One that again, we can get to work on it now.
Me personally, timing doesn't matter, and I don't think it does because as we stop our strategic release anyway, I don't think it does.
Sweet. That's what I like to hear because
I'll check with you.
I don't like
It
age
doesn't
to
for me.
factor into this because what you'll have sometimes is
I
you
agree.
can give too much information in a selection and skew people's palates, skew people's results. Where it's what's
Financially saying,
convenient
oh,
or what sounds better. Like, oh, if we would have went very forward with the ages in the first dry selection, you all may have been inclined to like, well, 4-year-old sounds cooler instead of just selecting purely with your palate. Same may be true here, so we'll just keep that off the books for now.
I know which
3,
one I
4.
like. I'm good to go whenever. I
Let's
will
do it.
go with the majority.
Let's go with the one on the. Can we do by left and right?
Yeah.
Left.
Right hand, left hand.
All right, ready?
Okay.
Left. All right, we won.
All
You got
right.
this.
Good call. There's something about that barrel.
It really
I
is.
just
Yeah.
cannot keep it.
Yeah.
I kept going back to
It's
it.
fantastic, and I'm glad we came to this. I'm glad we like this.
Yes.
He made
And-
them. He
No,
made them.
I
so
think
they taste
what
them
you
every
chose
day.
to
Well-
was a great barrel, but there's
Well, again, this is where I erred on the side of 4 just for funkiness. 3's the more textbook. Like this is like solid, like awesome barrel.
I am still tasting it on the palate. Like, it's been a minute.
This
So,
was number 2.
but this one, like,
originally?
The other
Or
one
number
was
3,
like
I'm sorry,
really.
I mean, it's
There's something in the nose I haven't been able. I've got a hint of it 2 different times that it's so familiar I just can't place it. But no, 3's awesome. I was
the
just throwing
downside is I
4
don't
in.
have any to leave with. I mean, that's what the downside is. Look at that empty. You guys see this? We've gone through the whole.
Oh wow!
No.
There's a little bit.
We've done some damage to Peerless bottles and our livers in the course of this selection. It has been far from a 30-minute quick sip and go.
Yeah, we
I
worked.
think we took the right time to do this.
We worked really hard on this.
I'm actually a little
You did.
exhausted.
Yeah.
A little tired.
And now it's lunchtime.
Yes.
Where are we going to lunch? Maybe someone
Where
out
are we
here
going
can
to
join
lunch?
us.
Your choice, buyer.
I told Emily earlier I didn't give a shit.
Oh.
What does that matter? Tell them you're with us. Do you want us to get on your call for you?
So we have a call that's interrupting the
Yes.
lunch.
Do you want us to talk to him, Emily?
And I was going to invite you
We'll
out
do
to
it
the
on-
lunch.
We'll do it
but,
streaming at the same time.
It is not happening. With that said, thank you so much. For
Thank you. It was awesome.
Thank you for the YouTube folks.
Fred, thank you for your service
Oh,
again one
Hey,
more time.
seriously.
Love you
Can't
guys.
thank you enough.
Caleb,
Always.
tell us where we can find you on the Twitters and Instagrams.
I don't
Send it
have
to Chris.
Twitter and I have an Instagram. Just I don't know the name of it. I don't know my handle. I'm gonna be honest. I suck at social media. I'm terrible at it.
And
So
you're
don't
millennial.
follow Caleb.
I'm a
Okay.
millennial.
Yeah.
I'm probably one of the least millennials ever.
He's a millennial and he sucks at social media.
I'm a millennial who didn't drink until I was of age and I eat babies around.
Yeah, and he eats babies. That's
Caleb _ Kilburn.
Okay, I'm glad someone looked it up.
That's the
So-
baby bottle.
Yeah. Caleb _ Kilburn. Find me there.
You can also go to Kentucky Peerless
Oh,
and
you can also
find
yes.
this stuff there.
Yes.
Chris, how about yourself?
Kroger. Every Kroger.
Every Kroger in
Every
the
Kroger.
world, but what else?
Just walk into the Kroger and ask for Chris.
Something unique
He's
for
there.
you.
So there's going to be a little bit more unique stuff coming soon, and we'll release it maybe on the
nice.
next one. So some more
Nice.
unique stuff. But there is going to be Chris's pick sections inside Kroger's very, very shortly.
Boom.
From my understanding, a caricature.
Ooh.
I don't know how I feel about that because they want to theme it.
Hey,
I told them I'd show up as New Year's baby,
They're
Chris,
trying
but
to
they
make
weren't
you the-
sold on that. I
They're
don't know what
trying
that means.
to make you the Colonel Sanders.
That's going a little far, but I will walk in with the whole suit
Nice.
game.
All right, let's
But
do
yes,
this.
thank you. Visit us, all Kroger's. Look at our ads. Come in, check us out.
So I will actually say that I do like the Krogers. They're awesome in a lot of ways.
Not just in liquor. I mean, it's great stores. I mean,
Let me
Great
carry some
cheese.
food, too.
I
there
love
is
You guys
some
know,
their
we carry
cheese.
a few things of food. And Murray's cheese. I gotta put
The cheese is awesome.
Amazing.
So you can find me.
Murray's cheese.
Murray's
Well,
Oh my god.
you're already following me, or you wouldn't be here. So thank you all so much for joining us. It's been 2 hours of wonderful joy.
Is it been
Wonderful
2 hours?
It's been 2
It's
hours.
felt like 4 with you.
4.
Does that mean that you just look into his eyes and time slows down?
I do usually.
Is that how it goes?
It's that much of a connection between us.
Cheers.
And
I'm gonna say like a citrus tea and like alfalfa is what I get in this.
which one?
The three.